What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me today. Going to be starting on the other bedside today. So in the last one, we got this one finished and got this end put on it. And now I got the other side, or the other two columns for that bedside made, and I got this one welded on. So overall, I am super happy with how this side turned out. I think it looks so great being back full. But now I'm going to work on this. So probably in this video, I'm going to kind of speed through a lot of this stuff because it's going to be basically the same thing as this one. But this one does have a few different challenges and obstacles that we have to tackle. But I'll show you those when I get there. So we'll probably speed through some of this. And if you want to know exactly how I do all this, you can go back and look at the last few videos that were on this side. So just going to try to do the same thing. So first off, you just need to get this fender off of it. So we're going to go back to the grinder and grind off those bolts, and then I will jump in and show you what things are going to be different on this one and what we'll have to try to fix on it. So we'll hop to it. So let's take a look at the shape that this is in. First off, the good thing is we don't have any major dents or anything along the way. This isn't really twisted or anything one way or the other. So we will not have to put as much work in as we did on the other one in that manner. But we do have a few holes in this one where it's rusted through. So right here, we'll probably just have to weld that in. And we'll probably have to patch this section right here, as well as this section here. Also on this piece, we do have a few dents in this roll. So we have probably a few small ones right there, and then two bigger ones right here that we'll have to address. So that will be a little bit different and a little bit more difficult than the other one. But it's good. It will get to try and fix something else on this. So these dents are probably going to be the first thing that I try to get right, and then move on to these patches. So I'm thinking that I can possibly weld something in the center of that, like a slide hammer or something, to try to jerk it up and get it back up level. And then we can go from there. All right, so I've got this stood up between two center blocks, and I got these two dents ground down with a flat disc a little bit. And this right here is what I've made for the slide hammer. So this is just a rod with some washers and a nut off the end. This is actually what was going through the front piece of it that holds the front of the two sides together. So I just went and cut this off and ground down the end. So I'm just going to try and tack it in there, and then we can just take and slide this up, hopefully pull it out. So this is just a piece of brass. This is off the slide hammer that my dad made, I don't know, probably 30 or 40 years ago. So it's just a heavy piece that obviously will fit the rod right through it. So let's tack this on here and give it a try. So now I'm just going to start out. I'm just going to put it in the middle of it, and just to try to pull the middle up first. All right, now that we got this welded down, let's give it a shot. I think we just got to get a better weld around it, but we'll keep trying. All right, I think we made some progress there. Actually, kind of looked like we tore through up here a little bit too. but got that dent out pretty good. Now we can try it on the next one. I pulled it up and I just ripped a little hole in it, but I think that'll be good. Got them out most of the way, and then I think we can just finish it off, tapping this down, and then just finish it off with some Bondo, because we'll have to replace this section right here anyways. So I don't think that'll look out of place or off or anything. But I think it's pretty good for now. So I'm gonna get these cleaned up, and then we can take a look at them. So these are by no means perfect, but I think they are a lot better and will definitely be easier to cover up and smooth out. So that's what I was going for. I knew they wouldn't be able to get completely perfect. So now what we're going to do is start patching the holes in the back of this. And so we're just going to basically do the same thing that we did replacing that one piece on the bumper. We're going to cut out our piece of sheet that'll go over here, place it over top, and then cut around it. And then that way that thing should slide right in. Then we'll just weld both sides, grind that down, and be good as new. So now that I have my pieces cut out, I'm just going to set them over top so they cover up all the holes I'm trying to replace. Just like that. And now I'll take the welder and I'll tack in the sides to hold this in place. And then now with this tacked, I'm just going to take the grinder and cut around the edges, and that should give me a good fit on it. Now that it's cut out, this will set in here just like this. And I'll just be able to hold it and weld all the way around it. So now that this piece right here is taken care of, on this side, we'll do the underside of it, this front side, later once we get most of this cut off and I can flip it around and it's easier to get to. So I have that done now, and now we'll just do the same exact thing to this side. So I'll skip to when I have this back side completed. And both of these look great from this side. Got this one in. This one is really nice. Was really able to grind down that roll, make it look perfect. And then did knock out that dent right there. That was a pretty good one right there. So now we're going to move on and weld in this hole right here. So I'm just going to take and basically just go around it in a circle here until we can get it filled. And of course we'll just grind this down and then be able to do the same thing on the other side. So let's give it a shot. this hole is filled in. So that's all there is to it. Pretty simple. Now when we flip this over to the other side, we can look at it, and if we need to fill it in more, then we can do it on the other side and then ground that down smooth. So it's pretty simple. There's a few more little holes here, and I'm just going to do that same thing to these and get those squared away. So now that I have the top side of this pretty much where I want it, I am going to go ahead and, just like the last one, come down and cut most of this bottom bit off. So we are going to replace it from about here down, but for now I'm going to cut it probably just at the top of this hole all the way across. So, you know, leave us another 3 inches about below where we're going to actually replace it, just so that we can flip this whole piece over and lay it down, and it'll be easier to work with and get some of these other dents and stuff out, like right here and whatnot. Make sure this whole piece is straight. So just getting rid of this bottom stuff will make it a lot easier to work with, just so we don't have all that excess metal hanging off that we're going to replace anyways. And as you see, it's cut off. And really the only bad spot that we have is right in here, where it bends up right here and then dips back down. So this is in pretty good shape. We can get this right here, push back down and straightened out a little bit, and we'll be good to go. And then we do have this one piece right here, but I think I will straighten that out when we go to actually put on the new piece, because we'll be cutting probably either right on top of it or right through it, and then we'll be able to straighten it out at the finish there. But this piece is in pretty good shape, so it shouldn't be too bad. Got this straightened out pretty well. So still a little wavy at the top, but when I run my hand down it, I don't feel any major bumps or anything along the way here, around this bottom inch. So I think we're good to go. Now we can get this lined up with our full piece and get ready to cut the rest of this off and put them together. Now we have it clamped down like we did last time on the new piece. So we got about 3/4 of an inch difference under the roll, which matches about what we did on the last one. So now what we'll do is just start in the middle, push this in tight and put a tack down, and we'll do that from the middle out both ways. And then we can start cutting and welding like we did last time. All right, here we are. We got this piece welded together, and we just take that grinding disc and go in at about a 45-degree angle right on top of the new material, and it gives us this nice, really smooth crease. Puts the metal right together. So now what I'll do, I'll just take this out, go put it on the counter over there and get the back and front side completely welded. So I've already done that before, shown it on video, so I'm just gonna go ahead, go do it, get it welded and ground down, and then I'll come back when all that's done and we can look at the finished result of this. And now we fast forward and the weld is done. So this one, which I'm thankful for, turned out much better than the other one. This seam is a lot smoother, so it looks great on this back side. Then looks pretty good on his front side here. So now that we have this done, we can go ahead and take it over to the other table and get these sections on each end patched. So we'll get these patched and then put our columns in. Now on to replacing this corner piece for the columns. What we're gonna do, we have our section cut out here. Just gonna line it up right here, get the edges matched up, and get this angle of this piece right here matched up as well. Then we're just gonna go ahead and tack that in. All right, now that we have this tacked, I'm gonna set this end section up in here. And then we're just gonna take and bend this back piece. We're just gonna take and bend this back piece up to match our angle right there. So we have this clamped down, and we really just wanna use it as a guide to try to get this bend right here right. It's not gonna be perfect like this, but it's the best way I can figure to get this bend and angle and everything correct, rather than trying to do it off to the side on its own like I did that on the last one. And it took a little just bit too much fitting to do it that way. So now on this one, just going to take it like this and try to bend it up. Actually, I popped this weld, so let me re-tack that and try it again. Let's try that again. Now I'm just going to hold this piece up and get me a line right here. And I'll be able to bend this down just a tiny bit, cut off that line, and then weld it back up. So we'll do that and then show you what it looks like. And here is the finished fit on this. So I will say it is one of the worst ones that I've done so far. And it's not great, I will say, but I think it'll be good enough. We'll just take a little bit of finish work on the back here, getting this piece smooth at the top, but overall I think it'll be okay. It'll just take a little bit more work. So now what I'm gonna do is take this, and I'll just set it in here and clean up along my edges, and I'll get this guy welded in. And here's our finished piece. So got this guy on here and got it ground down, so it looks pretty good. Then again on this inside bit, just kind of put some along the way as I will be finishing this off. Just smoothing that all out. And then I did go ahead and get this side done. Again, it looks really good. So yeah, we have our finished piece. So now we have both bed sides done. And that is going to be it for this video. So I just wanted to kind of speed through this process because I already did it in length across 2 videos on the other bed side, and this was the same exact thing. So just kind of wanted to speed through it, but still show what I was doing. So next, I think we'll kind of start working on fitting these up and making sure these fit right, and then go from there. So I'm excited to have both of these done. It's a big step forward, and now we can move on. And man, I've just been grinding so much. I'm definitely tired of the angle grinder, but I'm happy with the progress we're making. So thanks for watching. Stick around for the next video. Stay tuned to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this series, and go to the comments and let me know what you're thinking so far. Otherwise, I'll see you.